Hi, I'm Randy, that Geeky Maker, and today I'm going to show you how to make a dice tray in almost any shape you want. In my last video I made some wooden board game piece holders, and I commented that another method to make them would be to cut the inside and outside out on a bandsaw, so you would end up with something that looked like a cookie cutter, and then just glue it back to it. And I decided not to go that route because I wanted them to have a rounded inside edge for gameplay purposes. So this time I thought I would demonstrate that technique by making something that didn't require a rounded inside edge. So I'm going to be making a dice tray. If you don't know what a dice tray is, it's a gaming accessory that you use to roll dice into if you don't have a gaming table that has a soft surface. It cuts down on the noise, and it also makes it so the dice are less likely to roll off the table or into your gameplay area where they might knock your pieces down. They're usually in the shape of a rectangle or a square, like a picture frame. So to make it a little bit more fun, I thought I would make it once again in the shape of a meeple. Let's start building. I'm going to make this dice tray out of some Baltic Birch plywood that I had glued together the night before. I'm using some spray adhesive to glue this meeple-shaped pattern down to the wood. In the areas where the curves are a little bit tight, I'm drilling some holes to make it easier to cut with the bandsaw later. I'm going to start by cutting out the outside part on the bandsaw. I'm deliberately not cutting on the line so I can sand down to it later. Now that the meeple shape is ready, I can start cutting out the interior. I need to make one cut to get to the interior, and I'll glue that back together later. You can see here how these holes make cutting the majority of this material out really easy. Now it's time to use a little wood glue to glue that cut back together. I'll try to match it back up as close as I can and then clamp it to let it dry overnight. Now that that's dry, it's time for a sanding and round over montage. Now I need to make a groove to receive the back, and for that I'm using this adjustable rabbeting bit with a bearing that lets the cut be about 1/4 of an inch wide. To check the depth of the cut, I made this mock-up of what the back's going to be like. It's a piece of 1/4 inch hardboard, followed by a piece of 1/4 inch foam, followed by a piece of speed cloth. I do this in a few passes, lowering the bit a little bit each time until I get the depth that I want. Third time's a charm. Now that I have the shape I need, it's back to the bandsaw for more cutting. Once again, using spray adhesive, I'm going to glue the back onto a piece of 1/4 inch closed cell foam. Then I can just use a sharp knife to cut away the excess. The process is exactly the same for the cloth. A little spray adhesive on both sides will permanently and instantly bond these two together. This is the same kind of cloth that they use in professional casino tables. It's called speed cloth. It's waterproof and it's very durable. Now the back is finished and it fits perfectly, but before I can permanently attach it, it's time to add some finish. For the finish, I'm adding a couple of coats of boiled linseed oil and polyurethane. After attaching the back with a few pins, this dice tray is ready for gaming. If you think this project was a critical hit, consider subscribing to my channel. See you next time.